I'm Alexandra Boyle, and welcome to Symphony Innovate New York 2022. I have a secret that I need to share, and probably an apology. But first, the secret. This is my inbox. I know there are people here having a visceral reaction to the number of unread emails you see. But I also know there are people in this room that are looking at that stat saying, those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those up. And whatever your reaction is, what I've realized is my inbox is not an indictment on who I am as a person or how I work. This is what happens when you use outdated technology. Let's do an experiment. And play with me here. Show of hands, who here is in a fantasy football league? Great, keep them up. Who here has been out to dinner with a group of friends or colleagues recently? Great. Who does the pick-up drop-off dance for school or soccer? Anyone been on a date this year, hopefully? Great. All right, that's a lot of hands. Live stream, a lot of hands. You can put them down. Raise your hand if you did any of that scheduling via email. No, of course not. Liars. No, you're texting, you're using WhatsApp, you're choosing a real-time communication platform to get things done. So you're not living in the lag of outdated tech. So why do we force ourselves to live in the lag at work? There's so many reasons why email is problematic. The formality, the structure, the volume, the slowness. Is this really the best way to service customers? Or does this happen? A noisy swamp of an inbox. I'm here to tell you that the days of lag are numbered. And today, we're going to see some dynamic live demos that show you the power of what real-time collaboration can do. So that's improving customer experience, it's making teams more efficient, and getting you to actionable data quicker. If you haven't done so already, please connect to the Innovate bot, where you can get updates about the day and chat with the Symphony team. And if you're following along via social media or posting, today's hashtag is #Innovate2022. Symphony Innovate is about connecting people and connecting ideas. So to make connecting even easier, we are beta testing QR codes. So anyone from Symphony has a unique QR code printed on their badge, which means you can scan it and automatically send a connection request. So try it out for me. That's right. Okay, the apology that I promised, right? I know that I personally owe at least 20 people in this room a reply to an email. And for that, I'd like to say I'm sorry. Message me on Symphony so we can get things done. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Symphony CEO Brad Levy to the Innovate stage.
Awesome. Yeah, it's corn. It's a big lump with knobs. It's got the juice. Symphony, it's a really beautiful thing. Anybody know corn? I hope so. If you're not paying attention to the digital world. So, wow, it's just, we've done this event now a couple of times this way, and welcome to Innovate New York 2022. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you in person and live streaming all over the world. It's no small feat to pull off an event like this in person and live streaming all over the world. But just in the last couple of years, this has become possible and even normal. And even a couple of years ago, it just wasn't. So if you're the old man on the porch, which you can be, I'd like the world to slow down and maybe a little less tech sometimes and less NFTs. Or you could be a kid marveled by the future. I choose to try to be there. And even today is an amazing example where just a few years ago, this was not possible to run in this way. The industry is absolutely on the move. Thanks to all of you spending time with us today, online and in person, we know your time is not anytime soon a renewable commodity. And we're going to be sure to use it wisely. So given the movement and that change is rapid and everywhere, we at Symphony, we hear it, we feel it, and we really see it clearly now. The change is exciting, and through it all, we're listening and we hear you. We're going to keep you secure without locking you in, and we're focused on connecting you to your network and doing it in a way that works for you. So, 2 years ago, 2 years of rapid change, and combined with a macro backdrop that just cannot be ignored, never can, but today it's exceptional, it's led to a renewed focus in a number of areas. So, we're seeing a new flexibility, again, this event, that was unheard of a few years ago. How we work, where we work, and even the culture that we work in. The digital push is being welcomed with open-mindedness. And for me, long in the tooth in this space, it's refreshing to see. A new mindset of agility, access, and efficiency, all in the blender. A shift in direction to define tangible ESG-based goals that you can both understand and measure and achieve and implement. Symphony shares this focus as a firm and as a culture. We're scaling our modern platform with the products that support and advance your goals. So that's why today is about movement, how we understand, navigate, and help process your movements, and moving the industry forward together. So let's really begin. As we move forward, the world around us is accelerating and increasing in complexity. I don't think I'm the first to say it, but it's just a reality, and it's somewhat harsh at times. But back in January, I wrote a piece called Risk, Transformation, and Trust, about 10 months ago. And it was looking at the number of volatility events and the speed at which they were happening. And the theory is that these volatility events at speed, in mass, will cause a wide range of disruptions in businesses, industries, and geographies. And look at all that's happened just since January 22. The markets, fixed income volatility is raging. Inflation and interest rates are spiking. Oil, energy, currency crises abound. There's a regulatory ramp just about everywhere. Collateral of all kinds that underpin many things is being repriced virtually by the minute, and probably not up. The technology waves. Elon Musk is buying Twitter. It's a big deal. Web 3.0 is on its journey to regain the control that we lost through Web 2.0 for our lives. Semiconductors and chips are short supply, cybersecurity issues everywhere, and again, more regulation. Quantum is on the horizon. No shortage of geopolitical shocks. All continents in flux and in some chaos. Just today, Liz Truss, boom, gone. If you don't like the weather or politics in London, wait 5 minutes, apparently. It's just going to change. I mean, we're a little fluid over here, but the UK is really in flux, and we see it, like, literally by the week. Life moments of queens and pandemics, hurricanes, on and on and on. So, Symphony has been here for you through these critical times, in your firm, on your desk, even on your phone. Again, 5 years ago, very little on the phone, except for that email, data graveyard that you saw earlier. But we're moving forward with precision and targeted intent, creating tools that really allow you to connect to your clients without locking you in to anything that you don't choose. 25 years ago, for me, The case was robots would come, take over, and a lot of the tasks done then would be replaced by technology. I think the last couple of years has reminded us that people are actually at the core and the foundation of everything. No matter what we do, it begins or ends with a human at some point. Our networks are powered by a rich directory of humans. We're connecting those humans in their neighborhoods. Today's networks are complex, spanning personal, professional, role, functional distinctions, geographies, from equities to fixed income, and hyper-specialized operations communities. It's embedded, it's interoperable, from order management system platforms to operational portals, we're there. In this volatile moment, Symphony is helping you simplify, connect, and save time, so you can move forward with that same precision. Now, being precise is dependent on having the right inputs or data. Who's heard the phrase, data is the new oil, by show of hands? Some. It's been around for probably a decade or two as the internet came. It's a little tired, but I think the analogy works on some level, because data is just the beginning. And if you think of data as similar to crude oil, it needs to go through an actual refining process to be usable. And that's just the nature of a barrel of oil coming out of ground. Refining is a multi-step process. Starts with information, probably through some tagging. It then moves through intelligence, where you may be able to glean a pivot or a query and understand something more than just the data. And then there's a true insight that results in an action. It's that action that is so critical to all of us, and the ability to take it quickly, and maybe in front of somebody else, because that's the nature of a market. But the pace of data creation is accelerating, along with everything else. It's a massive feedback loop. I'm going to quote something from way back. You may have heard this stat before, but in 2018, Forbes was quoted as 2.5 quintillion bytes of data created every day. There's billions, trillions, quadrillions, and quintillions. There's a half a quadrillion of swaps outstanding. Quintillion is a really big number. Over the last 2 years at that time, 90% of the data ever created was created, and for the remainder of history of time, that was 10%. It's massive. Creating and harnessing the processing of this data is really the key. And this is where Symphony comes in. We're actually a major source of data creation. Our numbers are accelerating. 12 months, 60% increase in external messages on our network. 150% increase in buy-side to sell-side connections. 500% increase in the messaging going over our compliant messaging platform with WeChat, WhatsApp, and text. This is all creator data. It's your data, it's your interactions, it's to be used and refined and actioned how you need. And we're here to help. Standardize, transmit your data, getting you to that action faster. It's not just about more data, it's actually about new data, and that new data may matter the most. You'll hear this a lot today, but voice is one of the most interesting areas on our radar. Voice is data, it's the hardest to get, the hardest to refine. We're developing new tools for real-time data classification, cutting out the noise. And your profile in the directory leverages that new data, identifying and connecting with what matters most, a person, an action. Most importantly, your profile, the data created in mind, sent over Symphony is yours, the network's encrypted, and the keys are in your hands. So, more power over your tech and insights, helping you move forward with the actions you choose. These are very intense and high-stakes times. Again, it's on the news, but it does require the right solutions. Symphony, we're building a platform for now, the next moment, and the moment after that. We're really excited about the potential in the voice and telephony space. We're reimagining telephony as part of workflow. We are diving into voice as a new energy source that could be refined as an energy into the markets as a feedback loop. Cloud9 itself is software led and cloud enabled. It's portable, it's flexible. High quality voice networks, by the way, are very unique. High quality, crisp, instant, and on, expediting your transactions, historically only for traders. We are going to democratize voice and bring it back into the markets full stop, from the front, the middle, and the back office. Again, with use cases that make sense for that user at that moment. When I'm talking to my daughter and my kids, who are adults now, texting is not talking. You get a lot more out of talking. You just can't do it all the time because maybe it's not convenient, or it's a bit of overhead, or you're just not ready to do it. When my daughter calls me and says, "How are you doing?" and I say, "Okay," it's very different than if I type "okay." If I say, "Okay, okay," she may say, "You don't sound well." It's a totally different dynamic, and I think it's no different than the markets, and the phone is a dead instrument. So we're going to bring the phone and voice back into workflows, into our platform, so voice, chat, text can all work easily together. And in life, as you heard, texting is a really good tool for conversations over email, no doubt. In our industry, it comes with some real challenges. So we're innovating in messaging. We're allowing both compliance and scale. Over $2 billion in fines in our industry this year around non-compliant messaging, a major focus for regulators and an industry issue overall. Your clients and your teams want to use these tools because they're distributed and they're mobile, and these are communication methods they want. Symphony enables you to use these platforms to meet your client where they want to be, to allow your employees to do what they need to do in a compliant manner, avoiding the risk and leveraging the tech. So, voice and compliant messaging now within our platform, enabling this omni-mode communication experience that we all really want. So, in an open and interoperable world, we're giving you that ability to implement the strategy you want, bringing you to your network within the systems you use, less context switching, lower risk, and ultimately saving you time. This means power over your technology to make it work for you. So no matter the macro environment and the waves of volatility that are likely ahead and those shocks, we can flex with you and we can support you. Now, I'm really excited today to see what we're going to see. Some of this I haven't actually seen before in the form we're presenting it. Now, I'm going to introduce our Chief Product Officer, Mike Lynch, who is the guy who makes stuff or works with people who make stuff. I like stuff. My mother understands what stuff is, but not what product means. So, to our CSO, Chief Stuff Officer, Mike Lynch, give you the floor, a little intro, and then we're going to move right into some really cool stuff. So,
Stuff.
Great to see you.
Thank you, Brad. Chief Stuff Officer. Not sure if that's a promotion. That was going to be my next question. Good. No pay increase, in case you heard it. And my parents definitely will not understand what that means. Thank you for being here. My job is, of course, to go that next level deeper to help you understand a little bit more about the specific problems we're trying to help you solve and the way we're going to deliver value from our product, not just tomorrow. We'll, of course, talk a little bit about tomorrow. We can't help ourselves, but really about today and what we're excited to show you and do for you today. Everything at Symphony, you heard it from Brad, you'll hear it over and over, connectivity and energy. In London 6 months ago, I talked about this concept of signal velocity, which is a concept from physics. It's a little esoteric, but it worked. And today, I've got no central analogy, but I worked with our designers, our amazing designers, to say, how do we illustrate this? What can we use from a visuals point of view? And as one does, one goes to toys that you played with in the 80s to really help us illustrate any important concept in the market today. If you're Gen Zer or millennial and you don't know where this is going, ask a neighbor. Our users crave flexibility. The market craves flexibility more so than ever. How they work, where they work, how they communicate. The expectations for markets are far beyond what our technology provides today. And one of the core sources of that is that rigid single-purpose systems break under stress. Bespoke hardware doesn't have a place in our world today. How many of you today in your pocket have a phone, a calculator, and a camera? Nobody, right? In the last 2.5 years, the market has realized that that doesn't work in the trading environment either, especially for the voice, in terms of trader voice. We obviously, of course, rethought our trader voice strategy, And it's been an amazing year since the acquisition of Cloud9, bringing trader voice and messaging and Symphony collaboration together. We, of course, believe in specialization. Hint, this is going to feature later today. But we believe in delivering it in a way that is flexible and gives you the ability to meet your customers how you need to meet them. Our users need connectivity. The systems and processes that they use are multiplying. Policies that deny human connectivity don't work. We know this. We've seen the fines. We want to be able to bring that human connectivity back across firms and help you meet your critical compliance and security requirements. And of course, the world doesn't even know what normal is anymore. So much of what has done is changed, and so many of us put stopgaps in to meet the needs, the changing needs of that world. But the reality is a lot of those stopgaps are still in use today. One of my favorite stories that I've talked to a couple of our customers about is in the early days, in 2020, with all the volatility and the trades outstanding for settlement, they created a spreadsheet for the operations community with everybody's contact information. And they spent a weekend, closing that gap and settling those trades. Great, amazing, showing the market and the community coming together. But the reality is that spreadsheet's still living in people's shared drives, and it hasn't been updated. So people are still getting calls for things that they don't do anymore because that spreadsheet is a system. And the reality is we have to move beyond. Spreadsheets are great. I love a good spreadsheet. But we need to move to purpose-built systems to solve market problems. So how is Symphony helping us? First and foremost, our goal is to make our customers more flexible, connected, and intelligent. We're going to do this via specialized technology that's open by design and secure by default. And we're going to help our customers move faster because of this. We're going to do this with two overlapping strategies that I'm going to talk about. The first we call omni-channel. The second we like to refer to as interconnectivity. Our omni-channel strategy is all about helping our customers connect and capture intelligence beyond the traditional chat offering that you know from the early days of Symphony. We want to provide you connectivity across voice, across messaging, mobile, and of course, federated messaging, connecting to your customers via text and WhatsApp, compliantly and of course, seamlessly. We do this for traders, and traders are no stranger to the need for speed and how critical flexibility and timeliness is. But as importantly, potentially more importantly, we do this for operations teams, risk teams, research teams, portfolio management teams, teams who, for the most part, I like to describe their current omni-channel strategy as something like email, email, and email. How can we help? Our interconnectivity strategy is all about market workflows, creating tailored capabilities that deliver flexibility to you. We try to remove friction across the community, enabling communication between parties across organizations. My colleague Gary is going to end our event today talking about something really exciting we're doing with some of our customers around this. And of course, Symphony isn't generic. We're giving you solutions that are tailored only for our market, and we're of course not exclusive. We want our community to be open and engaged. So, 2 demos from us today, along with our partner showcases, et cetera. These demos aren't going to, one's on omnichannel, one's on interconnectivity. We're pulling them, the 2 of them together, and we're going to kind of blend both of the capabilities. But in terms of our omnichannel strategy, some of the things that I hope you look out for. We're going to showcase the latest in Cloud9, the flexibility and speed of cloud-native API-first approach to trader voice. No more phone cords, no more IT infrastructure. Actually being able to leverage the cloud and software as a service to deliver hyper real-time voice connectivity. We know and we want to push the envelope in this space, but we also know that this is a market that needs familiarity. They're not going to go from a turret to software day 0. We need to be able to bring that market and change that behavior, but give them comfort and give them that need to be able to connect via that button. A year ago, we showcased the first integration between Cloud9 and Symphony. A couple of us who only just learned each other's names a few months before showed what we were excited to be able to start to connect. Really excited to show you the latest in that connectivity today, that as of today is patent pending and is used by our first customers. And we're going to show you how we can take Cloud9 trader voice power and put it in the Symphony application so that we can bring that power of speed to audiences that may sit near the trading desk, around the trading desk, and bring that connectivity to your organization. Our federation offering is obviously focusing on the transforming of these once forbidden channels into really importantly first-class business channels for you. And this is, I think, incredibly important the way I think about this. We're not trying to provide you compliance stopgaps that meet a specific need. We're trying to help you look at the way you do business with your customers, look at what things you send over email, how can you interact with your customers and meet them where they want to be met. A great example is the new WhatsApp templates that we're going to show that allow you to provide that interactivity to your customers where they want to be met. And really excitingly, we're going to unveil a new partnership with a company called Umini that does mobile compliance. And that solution provides us the ability to give you solutions for your mobile voice compliance, mobile voice capture as well as mobile texting capture. So that now we can integrate that capability with Cloud9, with Symphony, and give you, again, the entire single channel experience, single platform experience across multiple channels, compliantly, secure, and of course, flexibly. For our interconnectivity strategy, you're going to see our embedded collaboration platform. This is a new capability we introduced 6 months ago at Innovate. My colleague Krishna was up on stage to do that. And today, we're going to show major evolutions in that, giving our partners and customers that want to bring that collaboration and unstructured data flow into their application in different ways. This is something we've heard over and over from our partners. They have these amazing systems for structured data, structured workflow, but then when anything breaks or doesn't go right and there needs to be a conversation, they lose that connectivity to their customers. ECP, as we call it, brings that back into your platform and enables you to have those conversations powered by Symphony. We're going to talk about enhanced tags. We all think hashtags and cache tags are super cool, but we also know they're limited. So what we're doing today is showing you a new enhanced tag capability that actually has underlying financial objects within them. So you can start to create workflows within Symphony, in Symphony, around Symphony, connected to Symphony. One of those ways, of course, is the Desktop Interoperability Standard, or FDC3. This has been something we've obviously been a big champion of over the last year, year and a half, and something we're really excited to show you our latest evolution of that with our partners Glue42 and SingleTrack. All of this is about bringing about connectivity and order to a user's workflow. And of course, Street Links are unlocking our secure directory exchange. Back to that spreadsheet. We believe that we can provide you a directory system that provides updates, and you can not only provide updates and publish it once and broadcast it across the market, but you can ensure that only the participants in the market that you have a relationship with can see it. We're going to show you Street Links within the Symphony application, and we're really excited to show that and also talk more about what we're going to do to bring it to new audiences. Bringing all this together, we want to bring it across channels, through markets, connecting people, information, insight, and of course, moving just that much more precisely. In addition to what we're going to show you, we'll have our community showcase where you'll see Euromoney, iPushPull, Enterprise, as well as our customers, Blackstone, Maverick Capital, JP Morgan, Barclays, UBS. And we're really excited to have Commissioner Johnson here to talk from the CFTC. She's going to be talking about some things that are about as timely as it gets for our market. So as I wrap up here, we all know 2023 is coming. I know you just looked at your calendar. Isn't it mid-October? But we all know it's only a couple weeks till Thanksgiving, and then the end of the year is here. So I'm certainly starting to talk about my 2023 and my resolutions. And what about you? What about stopping email usage for everything and finding purpose-built experiences that can help you reach your customers? What about email? Sorry, we already covered email. Spreadsheets. Stop using, I love a spreadsheet, as I said, but let's not use it for everything. How can we use systems and connectivity to drive that? And of course, the hardwired turret. We know it doesn't work when you need a flexible tool. How can we rethink that? None of these things are future-proof. I would argue they're barely present-proof, but let's all do better together.